video for the essential elements for trombone, page number 5. So if you're in the essential elements book and you are now on page number 5, which is in the upper right hand corner, you are in the right place. So we are going to pick up where we left off last time, learning some new notes here. Now, if we go up to the top of page number 5 here and look at number 7, the long haul, we can see our first new note we're going to learn today is a C. And that C is on the second space of the staff there, and we are going to play that in 6th position. So just as a quick reminder, the trombone has 7 positions. We've already learned 3 of them. We've learned 1st position, which is all the way in. We've learned 3rd position, which is where the brace here that we hold on to is next to the bell. We've learned 4th position, where the end of the slide is next to the bell. Now we're going to learn 6th position. So for 6th position, we're going to be stretching out a long ways. If you take your slide and slide it down, eventually you'll see a little bump on your slide. That is called the stocking. That helps to keep the slide in place and helps to make it airtight. 6th position is going to be when we can just see that little bump there. So if you stretch your slide out, you should be able to see that little bump. And for some of us, we have to stretch quite a ways there. So starting from 1st position, take your hand, slide it down. You'll notice with my fingers, I'm just using my thumb and my 2 fingers, and I'm stretching out. If you need to, you can rotate your shoulders forward. You can really push your slide out if you have to. Do as much as you can to get the slide out to the end of that stocking, just where you can see that little bump there. When we can get out there, the C that we're going to play is going to sound like that. So what we're going to do is, just like we did before, we are going to play that C, we're going to rest, we're going to play, we're going to rest. And every time we're going to take a nice big breath. So let's go ahead and get our slide out there. And we're going to take a nice big breath and rest. Here we go again. Nice big breath. And rest. Very good. Now we're going to put that C to use in exercise number 8 here. So if we take a look, we've got the same rhythm that we worked on at the end of page 4 here, but we are combining our C, our D, our F, and our E flat here. So just a quick reminder of our positions. We've got our C in 6th position. That's all the way down towards the end of the slide there where we can see that little bump, the stocking. And then we go to D. And D is going to be where the end of the slide is next to the bell here. As you're going through and playing, it's okay to watch your slide so you can see, oh, there's where the end of my slide is next to the bell. Or when I go to the F, coming all the way in, as we're coming in, we want to make sure we don't hit that too hard because that can actually hurt our face. I don't like it very much. So we're coming from D to F and then going out to 3rd position for the E flat. Let's actually try that. We're going to play just the first 2 notes, C going to D, 6th position to 4th position. And while you're playing that C to D, I want you to watch your slide and see it down at the end where you can see the stocking and bring the slide in where you can see the end of the slide next to the bell. Let's try that together. Again. Let's just go back and forth between those 2 notes. And while we're doing that, we can separate the notes using that ta sound. Ta, 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 ta. Let's try that. Now we're going to try moving to the next 2 notes, D going to F. So we're going to start in 4th position, which again, the end of the slide next to the bell, and we're going to 1st position, which is all the way in. Let's try that same thing like we did before, back and forth between those two notes. And when we're watching the slide and we're putting the slide out, make sure we stop when the end of the slide is next to the bell. So try it together, starting on D. Ready? And while we're moving the slide, we want to try to move it as smoothly and as quickly as we can. If we move the slide slowly, we get which is kind of cool, and there are times we want to have that gliss sound. But in this case, we want to hear just the two separate notes. So we're going to move the slide quickly. D, F, E, D, F, D, F. We're trying to get it going, moving through there as quickly and smoothly as we can so we're not jerking the trombone around. Let's try that again. Starting on D. Ready? Very good. And finally, let's practice moving from the F in bar 3 to the E flat in bar 4. So we're going to start off in first position and we're going to move to third position, which again is where the brace is next to the bell. So it'll sound like. So again, we can watch the slide, watch for where this brace is next to the bell. Let's try that together. Ready? Nice. So let's try to put that all together here. Let's look at number 8, and we are going to say the note names. Just remind ourselves what the note names are, and then we're going to try it again by saying the position names. So let's do number 8. We're going to clap. We're going to say the note names. Here we go. Ready, go. C, 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 D, rest, rest. Going to F, 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 E flat, rest, rest, rest. Now we're going to do the same rhythm again, but now we're going to say the position numbers. So we're going to start on C, which is 6th position, D to 4th, F to 1st, and E flat to 3rd. So let's try this together, saying the position names for every note. 1, 2, ready, go. 6, 6, 6, 6, 4, rest, rest, rest. 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, rest, rest, rest. And finally, we're going to play number 8. We're going to put all of that work we did all together, and we're going to play it. So here we go. I'm going to count off, take a nice big breath, nice ta sound, and moving between these different positions. If you get a little confused and forget where you're supposed to be, take a look ahead and find what the next note is that you know the position of, and we're going to aim for that. So here we go. Number 8. 1, 2, starting in 6, and rest, rest into 1. Rest, rest, rest. Very, very cool. The more practice we get, the easier it's going to be moving through the different positions on the slide. So let's go down to number 9. We're going to learn one more new note today, and that note is going to be a B flat. Now, how do we play that B flat? Well, it's in first position, and you might say, hold on a second. We already learned a note in first position. We learned the F. Well, one of the cool things about brass instruments is that we can play more than one note in one position. So, how do we play those different notes? Now, we went and we played the F before. Well, if we take a look at the B flat and we count where it is on the staff, you'll notice that it's only the second line up on the staff, whereas the F is on the 5th. That means that the B flat is lower. And so for us to play a lower note, it just means that our lips have to vibrate a little bit slower. We're going to keep the middle of our lips just a little softer, and we're going to use a little bit slower air. And if we do all of that right, we should hear like that. Now, if you go to play that B flat and instead you get the F, that's okay. while you're playing the F, try to slow down the air, less and more. And try to let the middle of your lips soften a little bit, relax just a little bit, not here, but in the middle. And what should happen is we should slip down to that B flat. That's awesome. That's where we want to be. So let's go ahead and try playing that B flat together here. So we're going to take a nice big breath and play and rest and play and rest. Here we go. Big breath. And rest. Here we go again. Very good. And again, if right away you kept wanting to jump up to the F, no problem at all. Just remember what that B flat sounds like and just keep working on slowing down that air. See if you can get the F to slip down to the B flat, and before long, your body will learn what it has to do to make that B flat play for you. So we're going to put all of this to use here in number 10, where we're going to be going through and we're going to be playing the B flat, the C, the F, the E flat, and the D. So I want you to go ahead and take a quick second to review the different position numbers. Where do I play the B flat? Where do I play the C, the F, the E flat, the D? Take a second and look through those. Good. Now, the first thing we're going to do with number 10 is we're going to practice moving from first position to sixth position. That's a little bit of a distance on the slide, and it's something we have to do a lot, and so it's good for us to practice. How do we move between first position and sixth position quickly? So let's try that. We're not even going to play the note yet. We're just going to go first position, sixth position, first position, sixth position. Again, we can let our elbow do a lot of the work. We're just keeping a nice soft grip on the slide from first position out to sixth position where we can see the end of the stocking there, and back and forth. Let's do that with me. Ready, go. First, six, first, six, first, six, first, six, first, six, first, six, first, six. Awesome. Now, let's go ahead and try to play the B flat going to C, back and forth. So it'll sound like. Let's try that back and forth here. Okay, with me. Ready? Good. The more we practice that, moving between those different positions, the easier it will get here. So, here we go. We're going to try number 10 all together. The same rhythm as we've been playing, going from first position, then to sixth position for the C, and onward from there. And again, if you get confused, find your next note and start from there. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, ready. Good. So did you remember to go from the C out in 6 all the way to first position for the F? If not, that's okay. We're going to try it again. If you take a look at the very top of your page, you'll notice that we talk about a couple of different bar lines. The first one is a double bar. The small line and then the big line, that indicates the end of a piece of music, like for example, the end of number 9. But we also have the repeat sign. It looks like the double bar, except it also has 2 dots on the left-hand side. And what that means is that we repeat that whole line or whole section again. So if we take a look at number 10, you'll notice, oh, there's a repeat sign there. Well, that means that we would go all the way to the beginning of the exercise. So we're going to practice that. We're going to play all of number 10. And we're going to go back to the beginning of number 10, and we're going to play everything again here. So you get not 1, but 2 chances to find all of those different positions there. So here we go. Number 10, taking the repeat sign. 1, 2, ready. Rest, rest to first position. Now back to first. Now to first again, and F. 2, 3, 4. Very, very good. So we're going to keep going down the page here. Now you'll notice in the yellow theory section, they're talking about some of the signs with music. When we're reading music, there are any number of different signs, indicators that we have that help to tell us about the music. So for example, we have the bass clef. All of the notes we've learned so far have all been in the bass clef. And there is a number of different clefs, including the bass clef, and all that does is tell us where different notes start. So typically on trombone, we're going to start off in bass clef, which we've done here. And you notice we've got kind of that backwards C shape there. And you'll notice from exercise 11 on, we're always going to have that bass clef on the far left-hand side. Now, next, we have the time signature. If you remember in the last video, I had mentioned that a lot of the music we're playing at the beginning here is going to be organized in groups of 4. And sure enough, the time signature there shows us that in every measure there are going to be 4 notes. That's the top number, and in the bottom number, it tells us that the quarter note gets 1 beat. So just like we've been counting, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 notes in the measure, and those quarter notes have been getting the pulse, the beat. So, and that also shows us what the note names are in the bass clef staff, and it talks about sharps. Sharps are a way to show that we want the note to be higher. A flat is an indicator that we want the note to be lower, and a natural cancels out a flat or a sharp. We're going to be learning more about those as you go through your book there. So, let's go down to number 11, reading the notes. Now, if we take a look, we notice a couple things different from number 10. The big thing is we don't have the note names written in for us anymore, but that's okay. We need to learn how to read these notes without the note names to start recognizing them. If you take a look at the actual notes of number 11, where they are on the staff, you may notice that, oh yeah, they're the exact same as number 10. So the melody, the notes for number 11 are the exact same. We just don't have the note names written in. So we have to remember what the notes names are. We have our B flat, our C in the second measure, F, E flat, and D. So let's go ahead and we're going to read number 11 now, but we're going to play the same melody as we played in number 10. And don't forget, when we get to the end of the line for number 11, we have that repeat sign. So we go back to the beginning and we play everything again. Okay, here we go. Reading the notes, number 11. 1, 2, ready. And back to beginning. To first. Very, very cool. The more you go along, the more practice you get, the easier it will be to read and recognize those notes. We're going to put that into practice with number 12 here, first flight. So we don't have any note names written in, but these are all the notes that we've seen. So I want you to take a quick second and look through and read those notes and remind yourself, what's the note name and what position is it? Is it a D? Is it a C, a B flat? Is it an F or an E flat? And what position is it? It's either going to be first, third, fourth, or sixth position. So take a second and remind yourself of those notes, the names and what position they are. Very good. And let's play number 12. And one quick reminder, between bars 2 and 3, we have a B flat going to F. Don't forget that both of those are in first position. If we need to move between the B flat and F, we can move our air a little bit faster or a little bit slower to help us move between those two notes. Here we go. Number 12. 1, 2, ready. So again, with any of these exercises, if it didn't go quite the way that you wanted, you know what, that's okay. It's just fine to skip back in the video and play through it again with me. Remind yourself how it sounded. Work on it for yourself. Practicing is all about taking the time you need to learn what you need to learn. So I have one more exercise today, number 13, our first essential elements quiz. So you will notice on the bottom, we have the first 3 note names written in. However, with the rest, they just have blanks. They would like you to fill this information in. So I'm going to invite you to take a quick pause of the video, write in all of those note names so you can see those, and then hit play and we'll go ahead and play it. All right, so here we go. We are going to play number 13. Remember, as you're going along, look ahead and be thinking, where is the next position I need to be going to? Especially if we have wider leaps, first position to sixth position, or sixth position to first position, anything like that. We want to be prepared, ready to move where we need to move here. So here we go, number 13. 1, 2, ready? Again. Very good. So that is page number 5. We are now 2 pages in with your Essential Elements book. Just as before, throughout the next period here, I recommend practicing all of these exercises. If you need help remembering how any of these notes sounded or how these exercises work, you can skip through the video and find all of them here. So keep up the practicing, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.